Hey guys, I'm Sarita, and today we are going to discuss the applications of Euler form of complex number, which is an important concept for JEE Advance. And many students find complex number a very interesting chapter. But today I'm going to discuss the beautiful application of it in constructing an advanced question. So stay tuned with me. By the end, if you feel the content is useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So, without wasting much time, let's get into the topic. So, I think everyone is familiar with the expression e power I theta. So, generally, e power I theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta. So, based on this, like many advanced questions can be created. And one of the wonderful one, which I'm going to share it now. Consider a infinite series, two infinite series with the real values of theta and r. Let's say C is given as 1 plus r cos theta plus r square cos 2 theta by 2 factorial, r cube cos 3 theta by 3 factorial, and so on. And there is another infinite series which is given, that is S is defined as r sin theta plus r square sin 2 theta by 2 factorial, r cube sin 3 theta by 3 factorial, and so on. And in this, theta is varying, theta is constant, r is varying. So the moment we see such kind of series, then we need to think of a complex number and also the expansion e power I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So to bring in that form in this series, basically the question here is two things to find. Here we will be find what is the value of c square plus s square, and also what is the value of c dc by dr plus s ds by dr. So we just need to find out these two values. So when the question is constructed in this form, and you can see cos when it is grouped with I sin theta is only replaced by e power I theta. So initially we have to find out the value of c plus is. So when we combine these two sequences, I get 1 plus r into cos theta plus I sin theta plus r square by 2 factorial into cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta, and so on. So now when we express this in the form of e power I theta, that is a Euler form, this is 1 plus r e power I theta plus r square by 2 factorial into e power I theta whole square, r cube by 3 factorial e power I theta whole cube. Here we are going to get e power I 3 theta, which can be written as e power I theta whole cube. So when you compare this with the e power x expansion, what is exactly the e power x expansion? We know that e power x is 1 plus x square by 2 factorial, x cube by 3 factorial, and so on. So finally, we get c plus is as the value of x in this series is going to be r e power I theta. So we'll be writing this as e raised to r e power I theta. So further we can expand this and write it as e to the power of r into cos theta plus I sin theta. So c plus is what we derived so far is e raised to r e power I theta, which is further written as e to the power of r cos theta plus I sin theta. So when we get such type of expressions, it's easy to identify that by taking modulus on both sides, you will be able to find the value of c square plus s square. So taking modulus on both sides. So left side we will be getting it as root of c square plus s square. And right side it is a modulus of e power r cos theta into e power I sin theta, ri sin theta. So modulus of e power I r sin theta is going to be 1. So finally we get c square plus s square is nothing but e power r cos theta whole square. So which we can also further write it as e to the power of 2r cos theta. So this is expansion what we have. Maybe we can denote this by 1. And later we are in need of c dc by dr plus s ds by dr. So when we differentiate this with respect to r on both sides, we would arrive to 2c dc by dr plus 2s ds by dr. This is the differentiation on the left hand side. On the right hand side, since theta is a constant here and r is varying, we can write e to the power of 2r cos theta into 2 cos theta. So c dc by dr plus s ds by dr. If you remove 2 on both sides, you end up getting e to the power of 2r cos theta into cos theta. But we can also replace this e power 2r cos theta as c square plus s square. So finally the value of this is c square plus s square into cos theta. So this is how the application of e power I theta is used in constructing such a good questions. I hope the explanation is clear to you. Let's see one more example which is based on the same concept. I have a series where x1 is given as sigma r is equal to 0 to infinity sin r theta cos raised to r theta by r factorial. And x2 is the other series which is given as r is equal to 0 to infinity cos r theta cos raised to r theta divided by r factorial. So the things which we need to find it out here is what is the value of x1 square plus x2 square? And what is the value of x2 square minus x1 square? And what is the value of x1, x2? So a series of this kind, when we see it, so again, we need to think of complex numbers, and in that, the Euler form. Basically, there is a sin r theta here and also the cos r theta. So grouping them, cos theta plus I sin theta is always written as e power I theta. So let us combine the two infinite sequence in the form of what is x2 plus ix1. So the reason is we generally have an expansion cos plus I sin. So since x1 is having a sin expansion, so we are multiplying with I here. So this summation is the same range for both. So we can group them and write together. Cos raised to r theta by r factorial is a common term in both. And then we can write cos r theta plus I sin r theta. The r is applicable, summation is applicable for both. And this can be written as sigma r is equal to 0 to infinity cos raised to r theta e to the power of I r theta by r factorial. So further we can write this as r is equal to 0 to infinity cos theta e power I theta by r factorial whole raised to r. So when we compare this with the e power x expansion, the whole summation can be written as, in the place of x, we have cos theta e power I theta. So the value of this summation is going to be e raised to cos theta into e power I theta. So finally, what we proved is x2 plus ix1 is equal to e raised to cos theta into e power I theta. So taking modulus on both sides here, we'll be able to find out the value of x2 square plus x1 square under root. Here I'm taking modulus on both sides. So modulus on the right hand side is going to be e to the power of cos square theta into e to the power of I cos theta sine theta. And the modulus of the second expansion is going to be 1. So finally, we are getting x2 square plus x1 square is e raised to cos square theta whole square, which we can also write it as e to the power of 2 cos square theta. So this is how we can find out the value of x2 square plus x1 square. So the second two things second thing and the third thing what we can find out here is, since we have evaluated x2 plus ix1 is equal to e raised to cos theta into e power I theta. Now squaring this on both sides. Gives you x2 square minus x1 square plus 2 times I x1 x2. This is by the normal squaring expansion where we know that I square is equal to minus 1. So this squaring on the other side gives you e raised to 2 cos theta into cos theta plus I sin theta. So comparing the real parts, we get the value of x2 square minus x1 square. Comparing the imaginary parts, we get the value of x1 into x2 here. So before we compare, let us write down the real parts properly and then the imaginary parts. E raised to 2 cos square theta is a common term. And then we have e power I into 2 cos theta sin theta. So completely this will be the angle now, which we can write it as e raised to 2 cos square theta into cos of 2 cos theta sin theta plus I times sine of 2 cos theta sin theta. So now it is easier for us to compare the real and imaginary values. So let us compare. So comparing real parts, we can write it down as x2 square minus x1 square is equal to 2 e raised to 2 cos square theta into cos of 2 cos theta sin theta. And when I compare the imaginary parts, it will be x1, x2 value will be e raised to 2 cos square theta by 2 into sine of 2 cos theta sin theta. So I hope you have followed all the steps, and it seems to be a very good application of e power I theta. So whenever the series one is in terms of cos, other is in terms of sine, and also involving the expansion of e power x, it's easy to construct such a good questions.
Well, I hope you like the content. I'm going to come up with more such interesting concepts. Bye for now.